Okay, so in this last video we will just tidy up some of the game stuff. So start off by first of all working with some lighting and shadows. This just helps with the 3D games to particularly look a little bit more interesting graphics wise. So first things first is we'll enable shadows. So to do this, firstly click on the scene itself. So click on the scene, not on any item within, but just the whole scene at the top of the hierarchy. And then from there, over on our right side in the inspector, scroll down until you find a shadows section. So this one here. So in the shadows section, you'll see that enabled will not be on. So click on it so that you should switch it on. And then after switching it on, the shadow color can be modified. Make sure it's a dark color. So a dark color for a shadow is always going to be okay. Then where the shadow should be, like of course in this case, since we're looking at it from the front, so then we have to adjust its z index. So we'll put a z index of 1, right? The x, of course, it's about left or right. The y is about up or down. The z is about front or back, right? So that's why we're adjusting the z index. Then other than that, we also need to switch on the nodes that we want shadow casting to be on. So we go on and we go to the player, then we click the body. Then once we click on the body, we have to make sure shadow casting is on. So in the inspector, under dynamic shadow settings, you see shadow casting. Okay, maybe if I open it up like this, so you see shadow casting mode is off. So just make sure it's on. When we switch it on, this will enable the shadow. So save, Control S, and then just run it. We will adjust a little bit of the lighting later on, but I just want to see that it's actually implemented some kind of shadow. So okay, so there's some shadow. It's not a good looking shadow, but the color is way off, but it's a shadow nonetheless. So you can modify the color. Remember, just go back on the scene, and then where's our shadow color here? So it's very dark. Maybe make it a little bit transparent. Then save. So you can continue modifying it. Okay, I'll just I've made it a little bit more transparent. Okay, so you can see the effect. Okay. Okay, so next up, we'll try and adjust the lighting settings. So to adjust the lighting, so under the scene, we have this main light. So this main light comes when we just create a new scene by default. So it's the default source of the light. So it's going to be somewhere on your scene. So you can see this is where mine is. Now the lighting source, its position, its rotation, they'll really affect where the shadow is cast. So depending on those things, you might get something different. So for example, the documentation uses a -10 rotation, a +17 on the y-axis, and the 0 for the rotation of the light, so where it's facing, right? Then when we run it, I think it doesn't point directly at my character because of the way I've placed my 3D objects in the scene, but we do see it. It's at the back, but it's a very small shadow. You can see it at the back. So I don't use this one. Let's see, it's actually supposed to be 10. So this is about orienting it so that it faces the player. Okay, still a small shadow. So of course you can try to manually orient it. You click on the light source, and then you click on the rotation gizmo, and then you try to orient it, but that's hard to do. So myself, I'm using different figures. So here, for example, I'll try, let's see, I'll try 60, and then instead of 17, I think it was 60, 60. So -60 on the x, positive 60 on the y. And then to push the shadow further back, I also increased the z index. So I think this one got somewhat of a reasonable shadow. Okay, so let's see. So the x-axis isn't okay. So the z index is fine, it's going all the way back. Same is true for the y-axis. Let's see. Let me just modify this a little bit. It's supposed to be 60. Okay, so it's going this way now. Okay, that helps. Okay, I think I can leave it at this point. Okay, so just modify. These are the rotation values that have worked for me based on these positions, and these are relative to where my player is. My player is 0 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, so that's what has worked. Okay, so the next up. Okay, so next up we now need to change the body. So we don't want to use the cube. We'll actually use a pre-animated Cocos character. So to get this character already animated by the Cocos team, you can go to this GitHub source where you can download this whole project as created in version 3.0. So, and then you can just download the whole archive. So in this archive, I'll just wait for it to I'll wait for it to download. So once it's done downloading, as you can see. So it's downloaded the zip file. So inside the zip file, we've got a Cocos character that we shall use. So just go on and open the zip file. Okay, so I'll just create the folder for it. So I'll say mind your step. Then we can extract it. Okay, then inside we're looking for the Cocos asset. So this one here. So it has animations. It's a pre-created file. So it will animate the Cocos character. So what we do is we drag this inside our project. Then we'll drag it in our assets. Okay, so we should see the folder here. Okay, so this will have the Cocos body that we want, the animated character. Okay, so that's our item. So what we can then do is we need to drag it onto the body here, and then we'll add the spotlight. So let me see, this looks like it's opened the animation. So let me just close that. Okay, so drag the Cocos body, the one that's in the Cocos folder, onto the body. Okay, so just on top like that. Okay, so it will create this folder with these items. Okay, then we can click on the body, and then we'll remove the original cube. So what we can do is the mesh renderer will then click remove. Okay, so this is on the body. So we've dragged the Cocos item on the body, and then we want to now remove the original cube that was there. So we'll be left with an empty node. So click on the body, then remove the mesh renderer. Okay, the animations will stay so that they can apply to the character, but we will introduce our own skeletal animations that have already been created in this character. Okay, so next thing, we can then add the spotlight. So just right click and then add the spotlight. So let me check under light. So we can click on spotlight. Okay, so firstly, let's just switch to 3D mode so that we're able to see where the spotlight is. We want to make sure that the spotlight is pointing down at the character. So yeah, so if it's in 2D will give you the menu. So switch it to 3D like that, and then you can double click on the item, on the Cocos character, and then this should show you where you are. Okay, so then we can click on the spotlight, and then we'll orient it. So first of all, I'll bring it up high. Okay, let's see, where's my camera? Okay, I'm trying to see how this looks in the scene. Okay, so this is how. Okay, then so we need to make it point downwards, so we will rotate it. Point downwards. Having trouble with my mouse. Okay, let me maybe zoom in a little bit. Okay, so drag it a little bit higher. Okay, I think that's almost fine. So the face, yeah, I think that's almost fine. Let me just see how this looks. Okay, so alright, but my camera needs to be put back a bit. Okay, so let's see my Z index. Let me maybe put it at 10. Okay, then feather. Okay, 0.79, 22. Okay, camera is feather inward. supposed to be 10. I don't think it's saved. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So the spotlight is showing just right at the face. Okay, so now the problem right now is, of course, you can see the way he's jumping. Now he already has some inbuilt animations for doing quite a number of things. So in the next video, we'll look at how to enable those animations. Okay, so first of all, like the video, comment, and thank you for watching.